Hello everyone, welcome back to Bombe, where we're teaching the computer to play Minesweeper, and we're sort of there. I mean, it's not perfect, but we got a lot of stuff done. And we just, at the end of the last episode, which I had to do mostly just like spring cleaning stuff, we did manage to write one new rule. I think that was it. I did simplify some old rules, so that was nice, but in this case, we said if there's, well, I mean, where's the creation rule for this again? We just wrote. Yeah, if there's no room. What the hell is this? So I had a region of 3. Oh, it overlapped with the 1 or fewer, right? This still feels way more specific than it has to be. But anyway, the point is we made this new region here, this 3, and we should really hide the 3 plus 2k region. Because we just don't need it. Or not hide, we can even trash it. There. That's a simpler view of reality. Although it still doesn't totally jump out to me what I need to do. Like, I guess a question to ask, could we make this square right here? Oh, you can pan. I see. Interesting. Get a different view of the infinity if you like. Could this square here be a mine? That seems limiting, right? Because, well, maybe not. It would use up this 1 or fewer. And therefore there would be no mine here. And there'd be exactly 1 mine in this region, right? Which seems important somehow because of how the 3 and the 2 also overlap. Like, the 3 overlaps here, the 2 overlaps here, and then later the 3 and the 2 overlap each other. So there should be something going on there where, like, you can sort of start here in this region and chase an inference through the 3 and through the 2 and wind up here. Probably to get to a contradiction. So if there were a mine here, there'd be one of these 2. And nothing here. So that's the same as nothing here. So 1 here. I think that's right. If this were a mine, The 2 would have to be filled with 3 mines, which is impossible. Or well, we could either put the second mine here, in which case the 2 is filled with 3 mines, or the second mine here, in which case the 3 has 4 mines. So this, like, I don't really know how to generalize this. But let me just confirm what I think is going on. The place where the 1, the 0, and the 3 line up is... Oh god, where is it? It's here. Yes, that makes sense. That can't be a mine. Indeed, that is true. But it's so outrageously specific. This is why I hate these 4-sized regions. And all this stuff that uses actual numbers. But I don't know... I don't know what I'm supposed to generalize about it. The sizes of all the non-zero regions doesn't really matter, and probably some of the zero regions even. Some of them are important though, of course. Okay, those 4 apparently. And that still doesn't solve the puzzle. Rough. But it got me more information. Because, right, it clicked on this square, basically. There's not 1 in this area. So 0... or 2 or 3 are all possible. But the overlap with everything is... it doesn't look that interesting. I guess this -1 is probably the next thing to look at. Or 1 or fewer. Sort of. Like, suppose there were actually 0 here. Well, no. Let's say this were the mine here. Then this wouldn't be a mine. And to finish this 3, we would need all mines. But we couldn't have that because... why? Because the 2 would be full. It would need a mine here and here to satisfy the 3. And then this 0, 2 would become a 2, and we'd need another mine here, and that's all 3. So I can again write a really... oh no, thank God, I can't even write that because it requires 5 regions. Is there a hint that's like a better way to do this? You can do it with 3. I mean, you know what? I want to take that last rule I just wrote and throw it in the garbage. Apparently, you gain at some point the ability to disable a rule temporarily, but I'll just delete it. It sure would be nice to have it, though. So if I look at this and ask for a hint, It says the 2 is a red herring somehow. Oh. This was here all along, huh? I thought the 3 had more spaces in it. I mean, we should already have written that there must be at least one in this region, right? Yeah, there. So that being contained within a not one clue seems important, doesn't it? Because that turns it into a greater than 1. It turns it into a 2 plus, right? So let's see. If I take this and this, it doesn't seem like I need this at the moment, but maybe I will. Yeah, there's not a 2 plus going the way I want it to go, I think. I want one that's here and and then also here, which weirdly we don't have any regions that cover this square at all that are hidden. I guess we have some real ones. Anyway, so if I have, no, I don't want this 3. I want this 1 or more. But really, I want x's. So if I have not x and an x or more, like, haven't I written a rule like this before? An x or more completely contained within a not x means that the not x must actually be x plus 1 or more, right? Yes. So that gets me the 2 plus I wanted. Doesn't seem to solve anything, but it does seem useful. Even if I suspect the hint will get rid of it again. No, it says it's fine. You don't need the 1 or the not 1 anymore. Okay. So if I said look only, wait. If I said look only at cells that cover both of those, it's just this. There really is no other cell that covers 2 of those. Okay. But I have this 3 with 4 nodes in it. Doesn't seem that useful. I'm sure it is somehow. This 1 or fewer must be important. Yeah, I mean, I guess the point is that it's forcing something into either here or here, right? So these are 2 separate regions. Well, they're not exactly separate. They have some overlap. These interactions of 3 regions seem important in general, and I've gotten some of them, but it's hard for me to, like, understand. If there's, like... This is constraining in that it's making the squares other than these of the 3 and the 2 have to have more than they otherwise would somehow, right? Like, for example, if this square weren't a mine, then the 2 would be totally full up, and it would hit this square and this square. And then the 3 would have a mine in one of these 2 other spaces. That all seems possible. If this weren't a mine, the 3 would have mines in these 3 spaces. If this weren't a mine, the 2 would be full and the 3 would need one of these. If this weren't a mine, the 3 would need the rest of this. And the... It seems like this square is a mine, right? Like, let's just write that down to see if I'm right, but... Here? No, we're the... Well, wait a minute. This and this must be the same, right? Because they have the same overlap. Yeah, those are both mines, but what's the general reason for that? The sizes... I guess I need to say something like 2 or fewer, right? Yeah. But this seems sort of like a general principle for x and x plus 1, right? So if this were x plus, and this were x minus, and then here were x plus 1, that's also true. Now, what if I went even further? Can I say, what if this were y or fewer? And this were y. Does that generalization hold? It doesn't. Because I can't write x plus y here, I think. Oh, but I can, right? Okay, but it's still wrong. All right, that's fine. This rule is not awful. I'll take it. And we solved a puzzle today. All right, it won't be a disaster of a day. But Remind me... I'm not that close to a third variable, which is fine. I barely know what to do with 2. Were there any other unlocks lying around that I was sort of close to? Not really. I'm kind of interested in playing one of these modes here where I get a chance to start fresh with a law saying I can't write shitty rules. And when I run into a rule that I can't write, I'm going to have to think deeply about what the hell I'm supposed to do. So I mean, this obviously we can say regions of size 0 or with 0 mines or non-mines, regions of size X with X mines are all mines. That doesn't address this one, but it will in a sec, because it gets this 2 and this one. And we had something like this before, so we can say if there's can I do this with X and Y? This is a rule that I wanted to generalize before. Talking about, like, if we choose, like, Y to be 1, then we're going to end up saying there must be at least 1 mine in this region. So, like, what I want to do is say, forget this, and forget that, and that. And here I want to say, like, there's a region of size X, and it's marked as having X plus Y mines, I think, is what I want to say. Then there must be at least Y mines in this overlap, right? Y or more here? Yes. So that puts a 1 or more in this region. And then we can just easily say if there's actually, hang on. I've already written some worse rules than I needed to, I think. Because this says if there's X and X, but surely I could also say if there are X or more, right? If there are required to be X or more mines in a region of size X, they're definitely also all mines. And I still think I want that rule where I don't know. Do I really want a rule where, well, no, maybe this is just going to work. I'm thinking about whether to take the rule that says in a region of size X, there's also X or fewer and X or more. It generates a lot of regions, though, and I'm trying to get a clean start here and look for cleaner solutions to things. So what I want to do is, instead of labeling the intersection as 1 or more, I want to label the outside as like X or more, I think. So let's, no, hang on. Look at the rule that made U and change it. Because here, well, shoot. If I want to say this needs at least 4 because it's overlapping with this 1, but all I can really do is say it needs at least 3 because you could only fit 2 in this area. So I think maybe this is fine as it is for now. And I guess this is just sort of sad, but if you have a rule X or more that's contained within a region of size X, then there certainly are no mines outside of here. Did I screw this up? Why is that not marking? Did I delete that rule? Oh, because I have X or more, but not X. So that's where I need to also say, like, in a region of size X, there are X or more also. Yeah, see, this puts a bunch of garbage down. I should hide some of it, obviously. Like in this case, if there's an X and an X or more, do I just hide that? But do I care about this? If I think I don't care if this expands, right? Because knowing there's 1 here and then like 1 or more in these 5 does not help me. So let's put a question mark there. That simplifies things. Regions that say 0 or more can be trashed. And now we're back down to something reasonable. Sort of. But the rule that I wrote a minute ago for X plus Y and size X. So why doesn't that apply here with this 3 overlapping this 1? I wish I could look at the rule. Maybe I can. Yes. So why doesn't that rule apply here? This region is the 1. What values of X? This is a region of size X. So here I guess that would be the non-overlap of these two, the 3. So the X has to be 2. And Y would then have to be 1 for this rule to match. So why doesn't this write a 1 or more in here? It does, doesn't it? It did. Good. Okay. All right, so I guess I need to now. So I wrote. This rule, I think. Well, this rule? No. Yeah, I wrote a thing that marks like y or that marks like y or mores when there's an overlap, saying that there's one or more in here. But now I also need one that says there's two or more out here. I need to write into the region where they don't overlap. So I want to take these. Say there's a region, a smaller region, completely contained within a larger region. If, I mean, I can write this for one. Like, I can let this be specific to one, but I want to let it be an X or something. X or a Y. If you can fit only X things in here, and the larger region is size X plus Y, then there must be at least Y things in the outside, right? Is that what I'm trying to write? Like that? Oh, that did it. Cool. I thought there was a region for like X or more that I had to write, but indeed I already wrote that. Great. So the two or mores are hidden. So now we can say if there's an X or more contained within another X or more, get rid of the smaller one. Like just trash it probably, right? Which one's the smaller one? No, that's the bigger one. Yeah. Oh, but you're supposed to get rid of the bigger one. Whoops. Update rule, regenerate. There we go. So, not too bad for rules. They're all fairly general, although we haven't solved a lot of puzzles yet. I think it may be time to write this rule that in a region of size X, it's also a region of size X or fewer. And then also write a hiding rule for those when they completely overlap. Oops. Do I care about... I want to let the 2 expand as much as it wants? No, the other way around. No? Hang on. Do these both have to be 0 for the hide to be real? Correct? If I had like a 2 or fewer that was contained within a 2, but the 2 went on further, would I care about the 2 or fewer? I could. Well, no, because that's implied by it being contained within a bigger 2. Yeah? But if it also sneaks outside of the 2, then I want to keep it. So this, I think, should be 0. But this, if it's completely within the 2, because there's nothing here, then I don't care if the 2 goes on further. I still want to get rid of it, right? There. So now we can do a similar thing with this. If there's a 1... Oh, did I really write that rule just for 2s? Obviously, it should say x. Now, hide this. Wait, no, undo? I don't know, show it, whatever. Well, okay, I want this one. I don't care about that. Okay, it just moves the one I was looking at, got it. I don't care about this. I don't care about this 2 either. I want to look at the 2 plus that's in the same region. These 2 I wish to work together on. If we have an x or more contained within oops, this is wrong. Well, whatever. I'll just change it to x plus 1 or fewer. I didn't actually want the more, I wanted the fewer. Then actually x plus y or fewer? Then there must be y or fewer here? Yes. And that puts down a bunch of these guys. Weirdly, I don't have a rule for 0 or fewer. Okay, well, I guess I would like to say then, if there's an x or fewer clue in a region of size x, you can just throw that straight in the trash. So we already know that's true. Why didn't that apply here? Oh, sure. Because this is a region of size 1. Well, I guess I could say x or more, right? There you go. That doesn't seem right. It's deleted an important rule. Let's remove that rule and regenerate again. So a region labeled X or fewer in a region of size X isn't going to handle this, obviously, but it'll handle that. I don't think I should say more here. That was crazy what I did. Because then if you have like a 2 or more within a region of size 100, it says, oh, I don't need that. But obviously that's very constraining. A region of size X or less. I mean, I could just say a region of size 0 or smaller is stupid. And it should be a region of size 0. That's fine. But if I have a region of size 1 or smaller, that's also stupid. And those I can unify. In a single cell. But what about if there's like 2 or fewer? I think I just need a separate thing for X or fewer in size X. And one for 0 or fewer in general that just is deleted. So actually I think I can say X or like if there's something that says, oh, this is a size 4 region or fewer, and there's only 3 cells, I can say, yeah, I knew that. There were only 3 cells, you big dummy. So I can trash that rule. And then I can also just say a region of size 0 is stupid and throw it away. 0 or less. But anyway, I got the 1 or fewer that I wanted here. And I guess I need to write the interaction like for these 2 regions. I thought that was done. Is it not? Wow, I only have 1 rule that ever marks bombs. That's exciting. But I guess what I'm about to come up with here is another one that doesn't mark bombs. Because what I should say is that this is not a mine. I should clear that from the interaction of these. Can I just say like, no, I don't want to say that. Okay, you go away. You go away. Don't need you anymore. Definitely don't need you. I just want to look at these 2. Except I don't even want this, I think. I want the 1 or more that was in that area. Right? This is the interaction that I want to capture. So do I have one that has an X plus and an X or fewer? Or something that would match that general attitude? Like, this looks... I guess that's what led to the 1 or fewer, or the 0 or fewer showing up here, right? I could even look at the trash and say what made you. It was this rule acting, okay, on here, but it would have done the same for this. I found X is 1 and Y is 0. So 1 plus 0 or fewer is 1 or fewer. Therefore, we wrote a 0 or fewer into that region, which makes sense, I think. But what is the relation between these? I mean, I can say, quite simply, if I want, there's X or fewer within a region that's X or less, then sorry, X or more and X or less, then there can't be any mines over there, right? Like, that would be fine. But it doesn't look quite as general as I would like. What what I really want to do is handle, like, what if this said 2 or fewer? And this said 1 or more. Then there's at most 1 mine out here, right? That's what I want to capture. So I think I want to say if there's X or more in a region that's X plus Y or fewer, then this region is size Y or less? I already have that rule. Yes. That's the rule I just wrote. Because here Y is 0. So I've concluded that there are 0... Oh, wait a minute. 0 or fewer isn't a rule I should trash. It's a rule I should treasure. 0 or fewer means 0. Edit this rule. Clear that space, man. Oh. There you go. In fact, I can update this rule, right? No, because I still... Well, yeah. I could just delete this rule, right? Because I already... If I see a 0, I turn it into a 0 or fewer, and then I clear up the 0s or fewers, right? So this rule is stupid. Get out of here. Who wants to... What kind of minesweeper simpleton clears regions with 0 mines? You should clear regions with 0 or fewer mines. Very funny. Now, if I were in this game mode, which I am, of course, and I said reset levels, does that do it for just this game mode or all? Because I kind of want to recheck. Like, rerun the levels I already did. But, I mean, it seems to be working. We cleared some mines here. Let's just double click this real quick. Like, actually quick, though. Okay, there's just 2 left. Cool. And we've written way fewer rules. I have 1 rule for marking mines, and 1 rule for clearing. 2 rules for clearing them. Could I get rid of this rule? I mean, certainly I could if I wanted. I could just say mark this as size 0 and it would get deleted. But it seems simpler to just clear it, right? Maybe I can even just get rid of this rule entirely? And like one of the X plus Y rules handles it with the special case where Y is 0? I sort of think that's true. Right? Because, like, isn't that... Like, if we erased this X and replaced it with X or fewer, it would still be true, right? In fact, that's a better way to write the rule. There. So that's an update. But now we see the similarity a little bit more clearly of this rule. If there's x or more, overlapping with x plus y or more, choose y to be 0, then you get a region of size 0 or less. Sorry, x plus y or less. You get a region of size y or less, which means 0 or less. So in fact, I don't need this rule either. And now it's looking sort of clean, right? We only have 7 rules for defining, for modifying regions at all. Two of them for clearing or marking, and 5 for defining new regions. 2 of those new region ones are just saying x is x plus and x minus. So only 3 of them, incredibly, are about changing applying new markings to regions. There's this, which deals with overlaps and setting a maximum bound on the non-overlap, no, on the overlapping part, I guess. This sets a maximum bound on the non-overlapping part. And what's my third rule? This one about handling when inside of a region there's a smaller region that's filled up, I guess. Interesting. So it doesn't, I think, retest the regions that we had already done. But I would sort of like to, so I can see the updated stats for my rules. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to hit reset rules, and I'll see... Reset levels, I mean. And I'll see whether that affects the other game mode. It doesn't. Okay, good. So just to confirm that we didn't destroy any important rules, there's still only 2 left. And we can look at the stats more clearly. Now, I don't really know what it means to say cells cleared by something that doesn't mark, that doesn't actually clear or mark. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. And we could, in fact, say, do all the hex rules you can. It's going to run into trouble soon. But this would be a cute way to let the episode go, is test out our new small set of general purpose rules in a mode where we're trying never to have 4 or more regions in a rule. So I think every time I used 4 regions, I was kind of disgusted and didn't understand what it meant. And so I'm kind of happy to not be allowed to do that. How are the stats going? I don't know. About the same as they were before? Sort of unsurprisingly, this rule that says an x is an x or fewer is triggering very often. I'm pleased, I guess, to see that cells of size 0 with 0 mines should be cleared has triggered more than that. Now, why hasn't x should be x or more triggered as much as this one has? Oh, I'm looking at the clear counts, not the trigger counts. I see, yes. These 2 have triggered the most, although not quite the same amount. I guess that means they're... I'm not sure. Can I reorder rules while this is all happening? I can. Great. So let's organize a bit. What is this rule? Oh, sure. It's saying shrink the size of N or more regions. That's fine. So I kind of want the visibility rules near the bottom, I think. I don't know. I kind of like the very simple rules at the top. These make sense as the most, like, basic ways to relabel regions. These are like my 3 overlap rules. These are simple trash rules. This is a simplification. And these, I guess, hide. You know what? Let's actually put this. Let's interleave this so it's clear we're creating a hidden row. Okay, so it turns out just letting this run forever is going to take a while. So I guess I'll just do that off camera and check back in with you tomorrow, where we'll continue in this 3 or fewer rules or regions mode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.